Welcome back. So I'm excited to be here this morning. I am Karen Campbell. For those of you who don't know me, I am the branch manager of Camarillo and Hollywood Beach here in California. So I'm going to give you a few tips this morning on how to handle some of the objections that we've been facing in today's market. So one of the tips is to actually be honest, and hopefully hopefully everyone you speak to will be your future clients. You are at the beginning of a relationship when you start talking to a client. If you need to be mindful that you are building trust, be honest about yourself, the market, and what they can expect from the process. Listen to them. Don't just rattle off your scripts. Know that you are actively listening and encouraging them for their objections and demonstrate that you understand the perceived problem, perhaps repeating their concern back to them. Empathize. Address their concerns. Don't dismiss them. For example, if you're a new agent and just got your license, it's a very valid concern for them. Don't pretend that it isn't. Instead, demonstrate to them what you're going to do to set yourself apart and handle all of their real estate transaction. Tell a story. If you have a past client and you've helped in a similar situation, telling a story of how they got help from you will help them ease their mind. The human mind is designed to think of narratives. Tell a good story. Tell about how you've introduced the character, then the conflict, rising the action, and then what you did to actually make it a triumph. That's how people are going to learn to trust you. The difference between objection and conditioning, that it isn't called condition handling. You can't handle conditions. Conditions are constraints. Don't be pushy and don't try to make everyone move who doesn't want to move. Purchase a home they can't afford or list a home they won't net enough to pay off their mortgage. Objections represent resistance to the value of your position. Conditions, on the other hand, genuine barriers are using your service, not just skepticism as to whether you are a good fit for them. The importance of building rapport. We need to use this time to demonstrate our clients' future clients and abundance of value that we bring to the table. The highest form of love that you can show to your clients right now is accountability, holding yourself accountable as to what the market is doing and what you can do for them. The key is to lead the impression of serving others and not selling others. When talking with them, present the client, ask questions that give you the opportunity to know better. What is the social style? Where are they going? Dive into who they are, understand what's going on. Try to weed through some of the ideas and discover what the real issue is. The goal isn't to convince a client that they are right or wrong, especially now we need to step back and say, yes, I understand what you're going through. But this is really interesting when we can compare your concerns with the market data. So before your conversation, before you sit down for your presentation, you always want to build rapport. You want to educate, not debate. So when you sit down with a client and they tell you a problem, you need to agree with the problem and understand the problem. You may want to dig a little deeper. You might want to ask more questions. You might want to figure out what really is the reason they are selling their home. Acknowledge that these are uncertain times and people are afraid. Share your experience with the market. You can say, I've been through this before and I can confidently say that my clients have had a regret about purchasing in the past when the market was not what people considered the bottom. You always want to make sure that people are safe and that you convey what you're going to do to keep them safe. One of the objections that we hear a lot is, I want to see what the market's going to do. The idea is you want to serve the clients and back up what you say with data. So you want to take your homework with you. What you are saying has to have depth. What you are reading is not a script. At the end of the day, people are fearful. Your job is to convince them that the market's going to be great. Your job is to show them that the data will help them make an educated decision based on their goals. You notice I said their goals. Here are some options. I understand that thinking, these are uncertain times. What are you hoping will happen? In certain price ranges, there are still competition for homes due to low inventory and low interest rates. Once we get through the next few months, there will likely be more competition, and who knows what the interest rate will be. If you're willing to take that risk, it would be great to put your house on the market right now. So basically what you're saying is what the market's doing currently, what the interest rates are currently, and how you're going to help them get through the process. Another objection is if we list now, no one will be able to show our property. Due to COVID, there are a lot of restrictions and a lot of rules. So you just need to understand how they get that impression. Many homes are still selling with multiple offers. When you go to a client's home, they don't necessarily know what you know, and that's why they are bringing you to the table. So let me show the marketing that we are doing so buyers can tour your home properly at any time of the day, even if you're in your pajamas, because we do things virtually. We are even doing open houses virtually on Facebook. In addition, exposure will attract more serious buyers who do want to see your house in person. When that happens, we are taking the following precautions. And then you need to go through the protocol of COVID to make sure that they understand that everybody has to be masked, that everybody has to hand sanitize, that they need to open up all the cupboards and all the doors in their home so that nobody touches anything, and make sure that you have filled out a PED so that everybody is protected and they know that this is a pandemic and that they could get the virus. There's a lot of uncertainty and there's a lot of fear going on and the confidence levels are down, but actually showing times are. Yes, there's changes and yes, there's different scenarios. Virtual showings are happening and sellers are hosting virtual open houses. There are a number of situations that will become normal. People still need to buy homes. Homes are the safest place to be. Not everybody has the luxury of having a home right now. The market is very, very tight. Even though the changes are new and method process are all different than what we are used to, there are still several people looking for homes and wanting to buy now. Now, granted, if we still have price appropriately, I assure you the data suggests people are buying. Another objection would be, I don't want anyone in my home at this time. It's an outbreak, it's a pandemic, and I'm afraid of people coming in my house. Well, you just have to say, I understand that. You're perfectly right of having that concern. But let me show you marketing that we can do so buyers can take your property, look at your property at any time of day. Everyone is concerned about potentially spreading the virus. No one wants to get sick. Showings keep just the relevant buyers and their agents, photographers, and anyone else at a bay in the house. We can't always wait, but even if we get back to normal, it may be a new normal by the time things are done. We need to take the precautions now. So I understand if you want to sell your house and you don't want anybody in it, we now have to approach the showings and do things virtually. However, there are going to be some people that will need to come into your home. You'll need to let an appraiser come into your home. You'll need to let an inspector come into your home. And so completely saying you don't want to have anyone in your home really is like saying I'm going on a diet and still loving pizza. I would advise you to minimize the interactions. Let's put some inclusions in place that say only one agent and one buyer can come in the home at one time. If that'll make you more comfortable, are you ready to list your home? Another objection would be for a buyer. I want to buy, but I'm going to wait until it's safe to go out again. Well, when is safe? You still need to move, you still want to buy, and you still want to take advantage of those interest rates. You feel safer when you go out. Here are some things I've done for my client. We can do virtual showings, we can do Zoom meetings, we can do electronic signatures, written comprehensive inspection reports, and drive-up showings, and more. So it will make you more comfortable when you're thinking of buying a home. So what is your version of safe? Are you just referring to the health aspect of it? Or do you never going to be safe again? These are all legitimate questions that people have. So you just need to ask them, what would make you comfortable at a showing? Wearing a face mask, wearing gloves, showing your home via Zoom, or viewing a vacant property only? That will limit your ability to buy a home in today's market with the inventory being so low. What can we do if you love this home? And if we viewed it virtually, we will put out appropriate verbiage that states you will have the opportunity to walk through the home in real time before 5 days. If we walk through the home and you want to get out of it, we have appropriate verbiage in the contract that will protect you and have you be able to walk away from that sale. You need core responses to objections when you're sitting at a listing appointment. Your script book will help you with many scripts, but try to put your own spin on those scripts. Don't read it verbatim. Don't have every single word in that script come out through your presentation. One of the things that's most important is the company. You bring those with you. You can reword things to say, if you sell 3 homes, you can say, I sell a home every 10 days. In 1 month, I sell more homes than most agents sell in a year. You've been selling homes your whole life. Your parents, your friends, your spouse, everyone's been buying and selling homes all around you. And now you're the professional. Any other objection handler that someone else is using that makes sense, make sure that you're getting the advice from someone who is more successful than you are. You want to make sure that you repeat and affirm when you're sitting at a listing appointment. When they have an objection, you need to make sure that you understand that objection and you repeat it. Most people believe that the MLS is going to be the reason your home sells. You are the reason the home sells. You don't know how many homes are currently on the market. You need to make sure that you have that number with you. Do you know how many homes have sold each month? And that's for the entire MLS. There are a number that comes off the market with being expired because they didn't sell. You need to find out what the reasons why those homes didn't sell. Were they overpriced? Was it the condition of the property? Or was it just not available to be shown? How can they afford to do that? If they say they want to think about it, what is going to change the next 8 hours of sleep? So people are afraid, and that's what they're going to tell you, is they're going to tell you no. And they're going to tell you no 5 times before they tell you yes. So when you're handling objections, every time that you get a no, you're 1 step closer to getting a yes. Have you noticed that most realtors are basically saying the same thing? You need to show them how you are different from the competition and what sets you apart. You need to have your own statistics. You need to ask them, when would you like to receive the first offer? All we need to do is now simply sign the contract so that we can get started and get your home on the market and get an offer right away. Before you do that, though, you need to make sure that they're taken care of and that they have a place to live and they know where they're going before you actually put their home on the market. Because of a fast sale, they are going to basically run out of time. So you want to make sure that they're taken care of so that you don't have them homeless or that you don't have them having 2 house payments. If someone is concerned about the price, you may want to list it at their price and then put the home on the market with a condition that if it does not sell in 2 weeks, that you will do a price reduction and will submit that price reduction after 2 weeks so that the price gets down where it needs to be. You would like to receive 10 offers versus 1 offer. That way you have the ability to negotiate with more than 1 buyer and get the highest and best price that you possibly can. Remember, you have to close 5 times more to get a yes. How do you feel to close? How do you feel about what I've shared with you? So you need to ask them before you get ready to sign the contract, how is all of this sounding to them? Does it feel like it's something we can do to work together? How do you feel about putting us together with some paperwork right now? Let's get started by concluding and listing the property for sale and get your home sold as soon as possible. Is there anything else you would expect from me as an agent to get your home sold? You always want to ask that question because there's always going to be an answer and they always will tell you what they expect from you. Is there anything else that you would expect from Century 21 Everest in order to get your home sold? They will give you an answer to that as well. So in closing, it's great to assume that we can work together as long as we can conclude on a price and a commission that we're both comfortable with. So with that, we will do the closing affirmations.